What's up, John? What happened on the bonfire?
Yeah, so, I mean, you've known Stanhope a long time, and you know he's kind of a caustic guy as it is. And then,
Sure.
you know, obviously he's been boozing it. He was a little sauced up, I think, in the morning with you guys.
Well, hold on. I saw Doug again. I saw him this morning. I mean, the other morning, and then I did Anthony's show. I think it was Tuesday afternoon, and I walked in. It was supposed to be. I knew Louis J. Gomez was going to be on, and of course Anthony and Artie. But I walk in, and Stanhope is there. So Doug, it was a last minute booking. So I saw Doug later in the afternoon. We hung. I guess he was on for like an hour and 20, and then he went to do the bonfire. But yeah, Doug was a little tipsy.
I listened.
Time he left.
I listened to the bonfire. And it was like I think they air at like 7 or 8 o'clock. So it was like 7 or 8 p.m. after he had been in here with us drinking at 10 a.m. And he was clearly on the sauce.
He was noticeably intoxicated.
Yeah, he had been drinking all day.
So what happened?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, the comedian Yamaneika, Saunders, she came in. I guess maybe they had already had her booked or whatever. I don't know, but when she was coming in, he said, "Oh God, here comes some black people," because I guess she had another black person with her, and she got super pissed and was kind of shitty with Doug, and then they got talking, and Doug asked her if she thought any guy who had ever slept with her had regretted the decision, and he wasn't doing it to be a dick, or at least that's not the way it came off to me. And I don't know, she's just got super thin skin, especially for being a fucking gigantic cow. But, I mean,
Okay.
she's she's ridiculous. She was on Mark Norman and Joe List podcast, and had a complete mental breakdown like 2 years ago, crying, freaking out.
About what? I know Yamaneika. What did she have a breakdown about it?
I'm trying to remember, but it was something along the lines of being a female comic and race and what. But she just seems very apt to be incredibly sensitive for somebody who's in a business where, hey, you know, you got to read a room, or, you know, the hacker might throw something at you, and she's just, I don't know, I thought it was insane.
Well, we have...
This isn't audio from it.
All right, this is not?
No, it's only 3 minutes long.
Yeah, Travis, it's just like Travis said that this was the 3-minute version, right?
Oh.
All right, thank you very much, John. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Because the full length one
It's
is
like a
31,
half hour. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is the 3-minute version have any of the fight in it?
I would imagine.
Oh,
I mean, or is it somebody just narrating what happened?
I think it.
Want to check it out?
Yeah, why not?
Last night.
Yeah, this
Doug
is just
Stanhope
narrating.
went
Turn
on.
it-
Sorry. I'm the one who told Troy about that. I
Yeah.
can't hear things in here.
Yeah, that's just. So, I mean, I don't know if there is a shorter version because it was a long kind of up
Right.
and down thing. But Doug came in and they were talking about just people regretting sleeping with each other. I think they were going along the line of the Me Too thing. I think it was sort of the, whatever. All these stories that have been coming out where people come back, and we'll get into the Nicole Eggert thing because it's associated with it. But Doug, and he was drunk, so he wasn't eloquently stating his points necessarily. But
yes, he told me I was ugly.
Well, that's okay.
Doug goes, you lost a lot of weight and you thinned out, but you're still ugly. I can't sue you for slander.
But so Doug looks at Yamaneika, and there was already a little bit of tension, but it wasn't bad.
Sure.
And he goes, "Do you think any of the guys that slept with you have regretted it later?" And she goes, "No." And he goes, "Well, then you're delusional." And she took that to mean she then went off on him. Fuck you. Like, every guy that slept with me has wanted to sleep with me, blah, blah, blah. And Doug's sitting there in his drunkenness going you're not letting me get a point in. I'm saying everybody has slept with people that have regretted it.
Right.
Like he kept.
He wasn't saying it was
enforcing.
specific to her.
No, because he said it about himself. He said it about everybody in the room.
Sure.
He's like, everybody has slept with people that have regretted sleeping with them. It's just human. But she didn't take it that way, and then
She thought he was slamming her. Yeah.
Yeah, that he was trying to take his joke about her and change it so that it wasn't hurting her feelings or whatever, which Doug
I don't
would
think he
never
gives
do.
a shit about hurting anyone's feelings.
No, and he wouldn't apologize to her because he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then he started yelling about how he couldn't get a point in and that he wasn't letting his
I would
points
love
be
to hear
made.
some of this. A little bit of it, not the whole
If
thing.
you go to about 15
This guy, is this...
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what, or you can say Yami for short. I'll acknowledge those two things.
My go-to is nice lady.
Mm-hmm.
So she's already
Nice
offended because he's
lady
calling
owner.
her lady instead of Yami or Yamaneika.
Well, yeah, nice lady is funny. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a fucking childlike thing to call an adult.
Right.
Nice lady.
Have you ever
No, Yamaneika or
fucked
Yami.
a,
I'm
have
not
you
nice
ever
lady.
fucked a dude?
You are a nice lady.
I am a nice lady, but I know my name, right?
Yamaneika.
Yamaneika. Oh.
I think Big J was just trying to
you
keep
ever
the mood
fucked a
jovial,
guy?
you know?
I that you know he regretted it the next day.
Interesting.
No.
Then you're not aware.
No, you think it's never
Oh
happened?
my God. Oh. Is this what this is about? Me having some nigga in a stale suit try to roast me on this fucking show?
That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny line. Some nigga in a stale suit. That's a funny line.
No, I'm trying to.
No, you
start
think
a
I don't understand that?
dialogue.
No,
No,
that
he's
you,
trying to talk
I didn't
about-
understand that whack ass joke
You just got
did just
Black
now.
Lou hyped up.
Don't ever fucking try to play me like that. Every dude that fucks me wants to fuck me. Now, what woman has fucked you and regretted it? Probably a million. Let's start with bingo.
Becky, good timing.
And
See, the
that
thing
was
right there,
her
I'll say
name.
this, Yamaneika, she's getting, even if he was roasting her and just breaking her
She's getting very
balls, she's
defensive.
getting mad.
Yeah.
And it's like, Doug's just a fucking comic. He's not,
And he's
drunk.
He's had a couple.
He's had a couple.
He might have had a few.
Yeah.
Clearly hear that.
He's,
Yeah,
on his,
can-
he's literally on his 98th drink.
So this clip is the same day that Doug was in studio with us. Do you think his voice sounds any different?
Yeah, a little slower.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
Aim ho.
But
I'm just telling you, I'm not in the mood for this bullshit today. So if this is what he's on, I'll leave.
This was
I'm
gonna
a
be-
respectable comic also.
I think he's
I'm
trying to
not
bridge it
for
to the
no
Me Too
jingle
thing.
jangle. I came in here with some black shit when I came in here. He's hot up and hot and all this other dumb shit. I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck about a Doug or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm
I
telling
think
you
he
right
was-
now.
I thought we were all going to
I'm
laugh at
telling
Chachi
you.
together.
So whatever.
I'm smiling. Don't worry.
Good, you should. But whatever you in this
Do you think
insult,
that
you try.
Yamaneika doesn't know who he is? She's making it seem like
she knows his name. Every comic knows who Stanhope is.
right. That's what I'm.
Every comedian knows who Doug Stanhope is. But there might have been. She just might know his name as a comedian.
But she might not be familiar with him. Do you think that's possible?
I think she walked into the room, and when he said that, she probably misread it and thought that he was truly being shitty to her. And she's probably like, "Oh, okay, this is." They're just having me here to make a fool out of me.
And he wouldn't.
But she still should have handled that. I don't think she should have gotten mad. But
I don't. Yeah, I mean, because the show clearly, Big J is trying to recover before they even started fighting. Big J's trying to make sure that Yamaneika feels comfortable and
Yeah.
stuff. She's being very, very sensitive.
yeah, let me hear a little bit more of this because
Trying to pull out. You put it on these two because they're the hosts here. Don't put it on me. You
No,
don't
I
know
think
me
he
like
was
that.
trying
No,
to
I'm
bridge
telling
it.
you.
No, he
I'm
wasn't trying to
about
bridge the gap.
every
I
human
understand where the
being
fuck he was
alive.
going with that joke.
Every human being alive
Is
has
there any
fucked-
man that ever regretted fucking me? Then I'm not being honest with my. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You don't know me like that.
Don't do the over talking.
Trey's only laughing right now because
The N-word?
of the N word.
Yes, yes.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, because she's funny. I like her.
Right. You do. You're a Yamaneika fan.
I think she's doing well here.
Oh, okay.
Thing.
I'll do
I'm
whatever the
talking
fuck I want.
about-
I've given you plenty of leeway before I even came in here. You've been running your mouth since I got here. So I haven't overtalked you. You respect me, I respect you. That's how it goes.
That's
Yamaneika,
what,
you
what
have
I'm
such won-
saying
you're
is
so wonderful
every
at this.
one of us as comedians has been in a position where we fucked someone where we regretted it or they regretted
Well,
it.
you start there. Don't start with some stale joke. I understand the joke that you tried to pull off.
Stale joke.
I do think, just from listening to it, that you're more trying to make the point that men regret sex too, not necessarily anything personal to
Who's that?
you. Like a guy doesn't.
Maybe. Who's it? What's her name? Christine.
I don't know.
Big J's.
Oh, is she
girl
on the
comes
show
in
with
and
him?
does the
Okay.
helps him out.
I don't want to
understand what
fuck
he's
you,
trying
but
to
just
say
like
now, but I
women.
heard the joke that he gave when he asked me, "Has there been any man that's ever regretted fucking me?" And I said no, and he said
I thought-
whatever the corny shit he said at the
Yeah, I
end.
thought the question
heard
itself
that.
was great. The question itself, I was
Now
very
we're all
interested.
trying to dance around because he sees that I'm very aware and I'm not for the games. I'm
No,
not-
no,
Okay,
not
okay.
at all.
So now we're gonna dance
this
around
is,
about
this
it.
is wildly
Oh, I didn't
fantastic
mean
Let's
this.
radio.
do the let's do
You
the
know what I'm
old
saying? I'm not here
school.
for this.
Let's all shut the fuck up. Let them replay what I just said.
This is poor Doug. He's so drunk.
Yeah, he can't-
What's worse than when you're drunk and trying to make a point? No, wait, hold on. Nobody wants to listen.
Logic is on his side.
Yeah.
but unfortunately, his ability to communicate is impaired.
Yeah, it
Let's
is a
do
bit.
this thing where
Let's just
we
go.
all stop talking.
And you have four yapping comedians.
Let's go old school and shut the fuck up.
Love Doug.
Replay it, please.
I don't have that technique.
Hey, there is no replay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh! Remember that? That was
Nice
fun 5
lady.
minutes ago.
I'm just trying to
My name
say.
is Yamaneika.
He called her
and if
nice
that's what-
lady again. That was what bothered her in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
what's
what you.
What?
this guy David Casey? David, did you hear it when it happened?
I did. I heard it. And the first thing he said when they walked in the room, I guess it was her and her friend, he said, "Ooh, look, some Negroes." That was the
Not
very
the
first
most,
word.
not the best introduction. That
That's
could be taken
very
the wrong
first
way.
thing that was the very first thing that Doug said when they walked in because he was so fucked up.
Oh, okay.
It was-
He could have meant it in a loving way, but
that's where it started.
Oh, okay. All right. So she probably thought he was fucking with her. All right. Thanks, David.
Pissed off from the beginning.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Let me see. This guy's asking this question. Hello. No, I can't see the guys in there. You got to put the name and write less. It's too much writing. The first guy who's mentioning Patrice.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're on. Yes.
sir.
What's your name?
My name is Ali. I'm from Vegas.
Okay, hello.
Long time, first time.
Wah, wah.
My first comment is thank you so much for putting the Sam comment. I won't say it because you guys aren't going to fuck with me. I love that you did that. And second of all,
I like dicks. That's not true. You shouldn't have.
and it tickles me every time. I'm sorry. I'm a big ass man, and it makes me laugh each time you do it. And the second thing, I would like Jim, with all due respect, to just simply speculate as to what Patrice's reaction would be to the fucking intro of this song.
Oh,
I know I'm putting you in the hot seat.
Oh, to our show.
Yes, yes.
Patrice would sit back. Here's what Patrice would do. He would lean way back because he was a big man too, and he would lean back and go like, oh, that thing he would do where he would scrunch his eyes up and like exhale. But he would get it. He would understand that it's awful and annoying, and he would understand exactly what it is.
Would it make you embarrassed to the point of flatulence?
No, I don't think so. Because he
Ali, I gotta be honest with you. It doesn't take much to embarrass Jim Norton
to the point of flying. Exactly. Sometimes if I look at the clock and it's 8:25, I just go.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. He would get it because he would know it was a good song. He would understand that it gets under people's skin. He would probably go, "It's awful," but he wouldn't. I don't know. Something like that. That is ridiculous wouldn't bother him. What would bother him or annoy him is if you were really trying to be something like if we were coming off trying to be cool for real.
Or like
I
we were
think
like,
that
hey,
he would be more annoyed with.
Patrice, like take the vibe of the song. Try not to insult people as much anymore. We're just trying to do more like a happy.
Yeah, like
friendly
if we
thing.
had a song that was building us, if we had an intro that was building us up to look like rock stars, and an intro that we thought was hot shit,
Right.
and like fucking yeah, here they are, boosh, that he would be more likely to mock.
I got one more question.
Sure.
I mean, like one more comment for you. I'm from Long Beach, California. I'm around hardened criminals at one point.
LBC.
I'm talking about some real, I'm talking about some real bouted ass niggas. And to try to explain Uncle Paul to some of my former homeboys. And I go, no. The jewel of the joke, I said it's kind of like Family Guy. But the jewel of the joke is that he pretends that he raped the people in the audience, not like other kids.
They're all adults in the audience.
Right. He would try to convince you that you were the active participant of improper sexual contact and you were able to consent at 5.5 years. And they would just be like, cuz, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, Uncle Paul, I only do when people yell for it. So when people yell for it, I do it because it's funny to me to do vile lines after they've requested it, knowing sometimes that half the people, it's like, what, did you forget who you were requesting? Like, they'll yell, Uncle Paul, and I'll do it, and then people go like, oh, and it's like, what, did you forget what I do? By the way, Long Beach... here's how I learned what Long Beach was like. Richard Pryor filmed Live in Concert was shot in Long Beach in 1979. And the way he talked about Long Beach, about how you don't want to go to jail in Long Beach because nobody will go down there to get you out. That's how I learned what a fucking horror show Long Beach can be.
I mean, can you imagine? I'm sitting there with some cats that's dipping Sherm in cigarettes, and I'm trying to explain Uncle Paul in the best way in niggalese that I can, and it won't translate. They can't get it because obviously I can't do it. I can't go, hey, because it would be like if I said I was raping you when you was 6, and he's like, nigga, what the fuck? And I'd be like, wait, no, it's not like that. I mean, but it's kind of like that. Yeah.
So the Crips don't like Uncle Paul at the moment.
No black people that I have ever tried to turn on to Uncle Paul. I caught this show so early. I caught this show when the episode I caught when I first started listening to you guys is when Wesley Snipes went to jail and Patrice and Ant went on a whole rant about Wesley Snipes going for 3 years. And Opie stepped in and fucked the whole bit up.
How did he fuck the bit up?
He wouldn't let them keep going because he can't do voices. He's not very off the cuff funny. And one of the dynamics that would crush the show is that when Ant and Patrice would obviously show that Opie wasn't necessary for the show, Opie would interject himself and go, oh, in another news, a plane crash. And you go, wait, we're on to something. We just put Wesley Snipes in Shawshank Redemption. Don't you get it, motherfucker? And then he would fuck it up.
Oh, so he fucked up. I've seen a bit of the animation about the bit, but I didn't realize that he.
Anyway, if we could talk about this memo, the FBI
yeah,
memo.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right.
I love it.
Thanks,
Y'all
Ali.
have a nice day.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, Ali, one thing I've noticed. Are you still there?
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed this on stage, that black audiences don't like pedophile stuff as much, or like the jokes, or they don't like really nasty religious jokes. White audiences are more likely to go with certain things, but that's something that never really worked with black audiences, is pedophile shit and nasty religious stuff.
Well, black people are as conservative as your middle Alabama white folks, but we just use the N-word as well. Like, we're Jesus-loving gun owners, but we just have bad credit and we use guns and shit. You know,
you guys don't even like gay people.
We don't like gay. We don't like the gay.
No.
Yeah, black people are more conservative.
Want them in our church choir, though. We do want a whole church choir full of dictation, singing motherfuckers. Though.
I see.
So you like in a black church, you'll see a couple of gay guys in the choir, but nobody minds because they're really belting out a tune.
They can sing like honey poured on bacon. But,
that sounds delicious.
It certainly does. All right, thanks, Ali.
They would be upset. They would be upset at this and call me cooning right now. Y'all have a wonderful morning.
Okay, buddy.
All right, man.
Take care.
Yeah.
He was cooning a little bit.
What is cooning?
It's like acting like you're kind of dancing for the white people, you know?
Why? It's just calling the radio show.
Cooning.
Yeah.
You want to hear the rest of this
yes,
Yamaneika
I do.
thing? Yamaneika. How well do you know Yamaneika?
You know, I mean, we know each other friendly. I met her. Damian Lemon has that show on True TV.
Oh yeah,
the comedy. What's it when they the beats?
I don't know. The only thing I watch on True TV
what
is
that show?
Cypher Sound show.
Damian Lemon.
I do know that.
I'm just trying to think of the name. It's where it's a comedy competition thing.
Yeah.
And I did it with Sherrod and Yamaneika the first time, and it was a fun show to do. I just don't typically like contest things. That's why I didn't do it again. Anyway, I did it the first time. She was one of the people on it, where I forget who it was. It was me, Sherrod, her, and I forget who the other comedian was.
Because she seems very thin-skinned.
On that, she wasn't. She was fun, but again, that was the kind of the tone of the show. I don't know her as well personally. We see each other, we say hello.
Right. All right, you want to get back to it?
Sure.
Meant an apology would simply suffice.
There's no fucking apology.
Okay, well, there you
I'm
go.
saying we've all fucked someone.
That's not what he meant, but that's what he's trying to clear up and say now.
Would everybody here believe me if I told you Dan Soder predicted this possibility not 2.5 hours ago?
I predicted it when I got the text, and I was like, I'm not on
Where's
no
Dan?
bullshit.
Well,
Because I'm not playing any games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Probably
I'm here
just
on a respect level.
hiding in a corner, avoiding conflict because it reminds him of his troubled upbringing.
It should.
Yeah.
I haven't disrespected him. I came in on disrespect, all this little nonsense, and then he wants to keep going with it. You guys are the host. Let him do it to you, not me.
No, I know. And listen, that's what I was saying when Christine was trying to say is he was trying to make the jump that we've all regretted having sex with somebody.
Dan, listen to me. I understand where he was trying to go after I called him on the bullshit that he said, but that's not where he started.
Listen, I have to go to another podcast with a real racist with fuck.
He was doing Nick DiPaolo's show.
Yes,
after
he was. But the thing is, to what she obviously it's obvious what she's saying is that, hey, look, you were fucking with me, and then when I said something, now you're making it look like you were trying to make a bigger, broader point.
I don't think
he was probably doing both. I think he was probably making fun of her, but he was also probably getting to a different point.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think he looks at it that literally. He's just making fun of somebody. Like, who cares?
I didn't even see him as making fun of her, to tell you the truth, because it was clear. I mean, the bigger point was so clearly there, you know, and it was not like it was just a point out of nowhere.
Right.
It was a conversation that was actually happening. So, yeah, I mean, and of course, like, I guess because she said no, it was like, okay, let me make a joke out of this.
Yeah.
Right. You're unaware, but yeah, I mean, it was not a big deal. You know, she probably shouldn't have reacted, especially since Doug is Doug, and also he was heavily intoxicated at that point.
He was,
Like, maybe we just look at the source and go like, okay, this is not that big of a deal.
Well, Brian is saying, Brian has a conclusion. Yes,
He's
Brian.
got the scoop.
Brian in the Big Apple. Hello, Brian.
Big Apple in for you guys.
Oh, boy.
Yes. So they actually covered it on last night's episode that
As our radio turns.
Yamaneika was absolutely fine with it. It was just misunderstanding on both sides. They talked about it on Skanks as well. And Bingo actually had to text Jay and say Stanhope had no idea what happened since about Artie and Anthony.
Oh, no, he kind of...
He was blacked out at that point.
He was a bit blacked out?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. So
Okay.
He wasn't even sure what was being said. And people have brought it up earlier that it's kind of like a bit that he's previously done, and he talked about a bit that he's done before about there was no title for that Me Too movement until just now, after he's already finished that bit, and he no longer does it. It was like, now I wish it was happening, and then he was kind of trying to go into that bit.
Oh, okay. All right, so it was just something he had said before, and it probably didn't deliver it as well because he was, or just
all
clearly...
you comics doing radio shows
Thanks,
and
Brian.
podcasts and all this stuff now, like, there's so much comedian drama out there.
Well, yeah, because comics attempt to be honest. So I think when you're doing that, people sometimes will think that you're being honest when you're actually just kidding, or you're kind of mixing them up, but you're not trying to be a complete twat about it.
Yeah.
And comedians do get their feelings hurt sometimes. We've all gotten our feelings hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I think comedians are fake, not sensitive. I
That's
think
true.
Comedians are like as sensitive as it gets about a lot of stuff. And
yes and no, you develop a thick skin to being shit on, and like, because again,
but there are probably little things, right?
Sure,
that every comedian has.
We
that,
all have an
like,
Achilles.
Yeah,
everyone has an Achilles. It's a lot of times it's not the stuff that would, like, you know, if someone's like, you look ugly or you fat, it's like, you know,
right?
It's meaningless.
Yeah, you got a mirror too.
Oh, of course I do. It's not what the point I was making. I was saying their eyesight is damaged, but that's my Achilles, my appearance. But you know what I mean? It's usually not where a lot of other people's might be, just because you're being made fun of so much, or you're making fun of people so much. But
right.
You're right. It's there, of course.
Yeah, totally.
You can't pretend that we never get bothered.